Hello students, today in our ninth episode we are going to see different topics today, and in electrostatics there are lot of important expressions are there, and today in this episode we are going to learn about an expression for electrostatic potential energy of the dipole in a uniform electric field. Then we are going to learn about equipotential surface and some relation between this electric field and electric potentials. Finally, we are going to see the terms electrostatic potential energy and the term electrostatic energy density. Finally, we are going to learn about electric flux. I think today class will be a very interesting one. Let's move to the next page. Let's see an expression for electrostatic potential energy of the dipole in a uniform electric field. Let's move to the diagram. Here you can see the minus q and plus q, okay, both lies in a electric field. Now let us consider a dipole. That means the A and B are the two dipoles here. The A has minus Q charge and the B has plus Q charge. A dipole experiences a torque when kept in a uniform electric field E. This is the uniform electric field. This torque rotates the dipole to align it with the direction of the electric field. This torque aligns it to the direction of the electric field. To rotate the dipole at constant angular velocity from its initial angle theta to another angle, that is theta dash, against the torque exerted by a electric field, an equal and opposite external torque must be applied on the dipole here. Now the work done by the external torque to rotate the dipole from angle theta dash to theta at constant angular velocity. Students, remember W is the work done by the external torque, okay, and it is to rotate the dipole from the angle which is theta dash to theta. So we integral the value, that is from theta dash to theta, tau external into dq. Let's take this as the equation number 1. Since tau external is equal to and opposite to tau E, and which is equal to P vector into E vector, so we have tau external vector, if you take it in a modulus, then which is equal to tau E, that means tau into electric field, and which is equal to P vector into E vector. Let's take this as equation number 2. While substituting the equation number 2 in equation number 1, we get, that means instead of tau external we substitute P in vector into E vector, or PE sin theta into d theta, because it's this theta dash and theta denotes an angle. W is equal to work done is equal to integral theta dash to theta Pe sin theta into d theta. While integrating this sin theta d theta, we get W is equal to PE into cos theta dash minus cos theta. This work done is equal to the potential energy difference between the angular positions theta and theta dash. Therefore, U theta minus U theta dash is equal to del U. That means the potential energy difference, which is equal to PE minus PE cos theta plus PE cos theta dash. If the angle, that means the initial angle theta dash is equal to 90 degree and it is taken as a reference point, then the U theta dash is equal to PE, or which is cos 90 degree is equal to 0. The potential energy stored in the system of dipole kept in the uniform electric field is given by U is equal to minus PE cos theta or minus P dot E, because this cos theta is cos 0 degree, and already you know cos 0 is equal to 1. And using all these things, we receive that the potential energy is maximum where the dipole is aligned anti-parallel, that means theta is equal to 180 degree to the external electric field, and the potential energy is minimum when the dipole is aligned parallel, that is theta equal to 0 to the external electric field. Using this, we can define the potential energy when the angles are from theta to theta dash. First of all, today, equipotential surface. What do you mean by this equipotential surface? Let me show a example for you. See, this is a equipotential surface. All points in the surface of a sphere are at same potential. You can see here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J all have equal and same potential. And the definition is the electric potential at all points on the surface of the given sphere is the same. Such a surface is called an equipotential surface. An equipotential surface is a surface on which all the points are at the same potential. Here in A and B and C and D, it have same potential. There is no difference in potentials. Now, what are the properties of equipotential surfaces? First one, the work done to move a charge Q between any 2 points. Already we know in the electric dipole we use A and B as a dipole. Here the work is done to move the charge Q between the points A and B. So the work W is equal to Q into VB minus VA. Okay, if the point A and B lie on the same equipotential surface, that means see here you can see A and B are lie on a same equipotential surface. Work done is 0 because VA equal to VB. The electric field, the second property is the electric field is normal to an equipotential surface. If it is not normal, then the work must be done to move a charge between 2 points. Okay, the work must be done to move a charge between the point A to point B or point B to point C on the same surface. This is a contradiction. I know you all know what do you mean by contradiction. Therefore, the electric field must always be normal to equipotential surface. Next one, relation between electric field and electric potential. And I think you all know the term electric field and the term electric potential. Okay, now consider a positive charge Q which is kept fixed at the origin. To move a unit positive charge by a small distance dx in the electric field E, the work done is given by dW is equal to minus E into dx, because we are moving the charge against the repulsion force. So it should have a minus effect. That's why we put minus here, a negative effect. The minus sign implies that work is done against the electric field. This work done is equal to electric potential difference. Therefore, dW, the work done, is equal to the electric potential, and the electric potential dV is equal to minus E into dx. Hence, if you take E as a right left hand side, then you can put this dV divided by this dx. Therefore, E is equal to minus dV by dx. Then the electric field is the negative gradient of the electric potential that we know from this point. And in general, E vector is equal to minus derivative of V by dx into I cap plus derivative of V divided by derivative of Y into J cap plus derivative of V divided by derivative of K into K cap. Now, electrostatic potential energy. What do you mean by this electrostatic potential energy? Let me explain. Electrostatic potential energy for a system of charges is equal to the work done to arrange the charges. It's very hard to arrange the charges within the electrostatic field. So it needs some sort of energy to arrange. That's called electrostatic potential energy. Now, electrostatic energy density. What do you mean by that energy density? See, already you know energy is can be measured in many ways, but the density, the energy stored per unit volume, okay, which is stored per unit volume of space, is defined as a energy density. UE, electrostatic energy density, is equal to U by volume, whatever the volume may be. Next one, electric flux. What do you mean by the electric flux? It's a very important one. See, let us consider this as a rectangular box. Okay, if sometimes a lot of electric fields move through this, electric lines move through this, we will take only the electric lines which passes through this rectangular box, which is called electric flux. The range which moves into the box or certain area. Likewise, in this picture, you can see the lines moving into the box and comes out straight. The number of electric field lines crossing a given area which is kept normal to the electric field lines is called electric flux. It is usually denoted by the Greek letter pi. Its unit is Nm square C minus 1. Electric flux is a scalar quantity which does not have any direction, and it can be positive or negative. Thank you, students. Study well.